Okay, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the AmandaFest podcast, where our mission is simple. It's to inspire and empower you to take aligned action towards your dream life, whatever that looks like for you. Today, we have another solo episode, but as we've done with every episode, before we dive in to the life update of Amanda, we are going to take a quick moment to drop in, arrive in the here and now, and ground. So, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. If it's safe to do so, I invite you to close down your eyes. I like to put a hand on my heart and one on my belly and just start tuning into your internal world. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. So noticing what's alive for you, what's coming up. And with each inhale, I invite you to set an intention. Think of something you want to feel more of, be filled up with. And imagine breathing that in through your nose. And letting go anything that is no longer in alignment with that out through the mouth. One more time in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Last time, make it count in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Welcome. Welcome to your bodies. Welcome to the here and now. And welcome to AmandaFest. I am tired. I am extremely tired. I'm not going to lie. If you listen to these episodes, you know that I am the kind of gal that just does not stop. I was in Mexico City all of last month. I was there for like 3.5 weeks, almost 4 weeks. I got back to Miami. I was here in Miami for a couple of days and then had a pretty quick turnaround for my sister's law school graduation in St. Louis. And then I was in St. Louis for a couple of days, back in Miami for about 24 hours, which is where we're at now. And then tomorrow morning, I am headed to Atlanta to go to Breakaway Music Festival for the week. And then right from there, I'm going to LA. So lots has happened. Let's do a little backup. I'll fill you guys in sequentially of where we last left off, what is new, what has been happening, and as always, extracting the wisdom and the lessons learned. So the podcast is all about inspiring and empowering people to take aligned action towards their dreams. So every other episode, I bring on guests that are doing the damn thing, that are living their dream in some capacity. And then every other episode, I've been doing these vlog style episodes, which for me, I feel like is just the behind the scenes of me building my dream life. You guys are really getting to see, the nitty gritty, the ins and outs of what the fuck it takes and what it looks like to just do the damn thing. Last episode, I talk a lot about how we're always reaching towards our goals, we're reaching towards our dream. And sometimes we forget in the process of that reach that we are already living our dream. Sometimes we forget to sit in gratitude and appreciation for what we've already done, for the fact that we already are living a version of our dream life. When I describe what I'm working towards and what I'm building, it's to have financial location and time freedom. It's to be able to do what I love. It's to get paid to play. It's to serve people, to help people, to have massive impact. And when I look at what my life looks like right now, that's what I'm fucking doing. Like, I am traveling the world. I'm going to shows. I'm getting paid to play. I'm helping people. I'm giving back to my community. I'm doing it. It's just, there's that continuation of desiring more and to have more and more impact, right? The more we grow, the more impact we can have. I saw a reel today of a mentor of mine that I worked with last year, and she was saying, even for the heart-centered soulpreneurs, right? The soulful entrepreneurs who are desiring to have massive impact in the world, who are desiring to help people. She was like, in order to be able to do that, you have to be wealthy. Your base needs have to be met in order for you to serve on a large scale. And what does that look like? It looks like or any industry, right? Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is, how do people make a lot of money? We make a lot of money by solving a problem for people that have money. So, in order to have massive impact to help a lot of people in the world, you got to start from what is a big problem that people face in general, people who can afford to pay to have this problem solved, and how can I be of service to that? And then that could be the way in which you generate income. And then once you have the money, you can serve as much as you want. You can give back, you can do all the things that you're desiring to do. So I just thought that was really interesting because, I feel like a big thing in this industry, particularly in the service based industries where people are trying to help other people, I think people forget it's a business, it's not a charity, right? Of course, if I could help everyone in the world, I would. But it's just interesting as you learn and as you grow, like really, really valuing your time and monetizing your time and knowing that you can't serve everybody and knowing your worth as well, knowing that your time is valuable, your expertise is valuable, and therefore you deserve to get paid to share your wisdom. So that was a little bit of a tangent there, but just felt like that needed to be shared. But let's talk about where we last left off. I actually recorded my last podcast in my last Airbnb. So the day after I recorded that, I actually moved Airbnbs. That morning that I recorded the episode, I actually had my first date in Mexico City. My experience with dating has been so interesting, especially as I've been traveling. For those who travel full time, the struggle that comes with dating while you're on the move. That goes with dating, it goes with building community, it goes with making friends. It's just when you're not somewhere for an extended period of time, it's difficult. Also, in Mexico City, I wasn't really finding people that I was very attracted to. I am typically very attracted to super European, like Australian, New Zealandy surfer types, and Mexico City is not really attract that many people that fit that category. Not to say that looks are everything, but I definitely do have a physical preference, and so I wasn't feeling extremely abundant when it came to prospects in Mexico City. But about halfway through my trip, I started just perusing a little bit and I connected with this one guy who caught my attention. And we ended up going out the day that I recorded this last episode. And we went for coffee in the park. It was really beautiful. I had an amazing time. We chatted for hours. And prior to even meeting up that day, we knew that there was going to be an end time to the date because he had some obligations and I had some obligations. So we ended up chatting for a really, really long time. We had a lot in common. He really intrigued me, and that doesn't happen very often. He is super smart and interesting and well traveled, and it's been fun meeting new people and dating while traveling, especially having gone that long stint of celibacy, which I've talked about in previous episodes. I started my travel journey in May of 2023. I was traveling around dating all these different guys, and then I got back from that trip and I just had a really bad experience. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on me. I'm going to take a break from dating. And so I took a really long time where I just was not seeing people. And then over last summer, I started dating again and it's been really fun. It's been really cool meeting different people and opening myself up to growth. So ultimately, what I'm looking for right now is partnership. I am building this big, beautiful, wonderful life, and I am looking for somebody to join me on this journey. And also, I'm at a point in my travels and in my development of business and self that I'm open to connecting with people that aren't ultimately going to be my partner, so long as that experience is going to support my growth and evolution as a human being. And so I'm really looking for smart, interesting people that are going to challenge me and expand my awareness and teach me something. And this was that. Pretty early on in the date, it became evident that this was not somebody that was going to be a partner potential, but this was very much possibly somebody that was going to expand my capacity for what is possible and be a catalyst for growth. I just think it's interesting how society places people in boxes. And I think that we categorize the fuckboy and we have all these different terms for people that are non monogamous, that are frolicking around and dating all these different people. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. One of the biggest values in connection in a relationship is honesty, is being transparent, it's being forthcoming, it's being clean and clear. And this man was so clear about where he's at in his journey, what he's desiring from connection, and what his connections look like right now. And maybe that's like the very European side of things, but he just really opened up my mind and challenged my perception of men that like to date around. And it was one of those experiences where, when he was present with me, he was like 100% there. And he was also just very clean and clear about his connections with other women and the way he likes to date, and that he is not in a place where he is looking for just one person right now. And, as somebody that was leaving in a few days, I was like, you know what? That's totally okay. Where things can get a little murky in connection and in relationship with people is when there's ambiguity, is when one person is desiring one thing from a connection, another person's desiring another thing from a connection. And in order to keep the peace, neither person is really expressing what they genuinely desire. And then there's expectation and disappointment and all of these things. And so what I found in these experiences, and one of the beautiful lessons that I've learned through dating, through being in relationship, through connecting, even through friendships, is to have these conversations up front. Have these conversations around, what does this connection need you? What are you looking for? I ask that question super early on in dating. When I'm meeting someone, I'm like, what are you looking for? Not necessarily with me. Obviously, we just met, but in general, what are you desiring? Are you looking for partnership? Are you looking for physical affection? Are you looking for connection? Are you looking for novelty? Like, whatever it is, there are no wrong answers. But if people felt more comfortable having these open and honest conversations up front, it would save us a lot of heartache down the line. And so this connection was that. It was so beautiful. It was very clean and clear as to what the connection was. And also, it was extremely present and nourishing and beautiful. And there was no ambiguity around it. I was a little disappointed that I met him so late in my journey, but to each his own. So that happened the day that I recorded the last podcast. I met him. We went out for coffee. We had this amazing time. There was like no physical touch that happened basically the entire day. And then towards the end, I had him drive me back to the Airbnb. I feel like you can just tell a lot about your potential physical chemistry with somebody through a kiss. And that one was really nice. It was very telling and very exciting. And, we both kind of got butterflies. It was just a really sweet, nourishing, lovely connection that I'm so grateful I got to experience before I left. I had a romantic connection back years and years and years ago that really wounded me and left me with a lot of scars and healing to do. And in the last 5 years, I've really been working on healing those wounds and rebuilding that trust within myself, within other people. And I felt like this connection with this person in Mexico City healed a lot. I think he just reminded me a lot of this ex-partner that I had, but was able to show up in ways that this ex-partner wasn't able to. And through that, I keep calling it a corrective experience, right? Where it's like I had the traumatic experience that left me wounded, that left me feeling hurt, that left me seeking. Not that I needed this person to reach back out to me and say sorry, but I needed a redo. I needed proof from the universe that it was possible for men to show up in this different way. And I felt like this guy really got to support me in healing a lot of those wounds. And I don't even think he knew that he did that. I think for him, this is just a really beautiful, fun connection. And for me, it was just nourishing and healing in so many ways that I'm just so grateful for. So yeah, the next day he had a picnic with all of his friends at his apartment. He lived like a little bit outside of the area that I was staying in, like 45 minutes away. If you don't live in Mexico City, there's no reason why you would get to go there. So again, it was really cool to get to experience a place as a local and do things that are kind of off the beaten path, like have a friend barbecue. That's not something that you would typically do when traveling, but well, you're really immersing yourself in the community and connecting with people and traveling instead of vacationing. You really get to experience life in a different way. So that was super, super beautiful. And then the next day, I got to facilitate ecstatic dance in Mexico City, which was so, so, so amazing. So I had told you guys in a previous episode, I had reached out weeks prior when I knew that I was going to Mexico City. I really wanted to facilitate an event there. I connected with the guy that runs the ecstatic dance. He had said yes. And so I was going to get to do an international AmandaFest pregame meditation experience. I was going to do the opening and the closing of the ecstatic dance. It was so awesome. It was on a rooftop of a hotel. And when I arrived there, it was raining. Everybody was speaking in Spanish and there was no microphone. So I was like, okay, live theater, let's go. Curveball, curveball, let's fucking figure this shit out. The rain only lasted for a little bit at the beginning. Obviously, I was gonna project. I asked him, I was like, is it okay that I'm doing this facilitation in English? Like, are people gonna understand me? And then some girl was like, oh, I can translate. And I was like, oh my God, am I gonna be doing my meditation in English with the like, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I've like rehearsed this, I've timed it, like I have it all down pat. And then if anybody here like does events and stuff, like making changes like that last minute can be a little bit daunting, but like yes, and the rules of improv, you just kind of got to roll with it and figure it out. But it ended up working out so beautifully. It was such a great experience. The dance was so, so fun. But the coolest part for me, and one of the reasons why I love doing what I do, is just the feedback that I get afterwards. I had so many people come up to me and linger and really want to be in my energy and really want to connect with me after the fact. And I just got such incredible feedback about how the inner child meditation lit people up and brought up so many emotions for them and made them so happy and was just so joyful. But one of the coolest parts that was so fun is this older couple comes up to me, like probably in their like 50s ish. They were waiting in line to speak to me at the end. And they came up to me and they were like, we came here because of you. And I was like, what do you mean? Basically, they explained that they were on the Circle Instagram page and saw a comment that I had left on the Circle Moment Instagram page, went on my profile, saw that I had posted about this event, and then decided, all right, we're still in town. We're going to go to this event, came to the event, experienced my pregame meditation, stopped and waited and spoke to me after. And they were like, hey, we are patrons of Circle Moment. Circle Moment is it's the travel wing of the Circle experience. So Circle is the reason why I was in Mexico City. Was all the shows that I went to. And then Circle Moment was the VIP version of that, where people were staying in 5-star hotels. They were doing exclusive excursions with intimate DJ sets. Long story short, these people were a part of that. And then they came to my event and they saw what I did and they were like, your pregame experience would be so cool at a Circle event. And I was like, yo, that's like literally my dream. I was like, this is so crazy that the thing that I was desiring just not only manifested, but it was like these people were just reflecting it right back to me. And they were like, yeah, like we've been to a couple of these VIP events for Circle and like what you do and how you drop people in and help them connect before going to parties and events. They were like, this would be such a good fit here. We'd love to pitch you to these guys. And I was like, whoa, like I had already done some pitching to the Circle people and they actually really liked what I was doing, but I did it kind of too late and there wasn't room for me in the itinerary. But to have people that are a part of the experience suggest me, I was like, yo, universe is cuckoo crazy town. Just so aligned. Again, such incredible confirmation that I'm like, all right, we're doing something here. It's really happening here. So after the ecstatic dance, everybody went to dinner, and I had connections with this guy who was from LA, but now living in Mexico City. And long story short, I ended up in an Uber with him to go to dinner, and he and I are connecting, and we like start, playing Jewish geography, figuring out all these connection points. And he is like one of the co-producers of this festival that my friends have been telling me about forever. We were talking about lightning in a bottle. We were talking about all these different things. We had this beautiful connection. It was so serendipitous, but also again, like I said, when things like this happen, I'm like, of course, universe, like, duh, of course, of course, of course, of course. I just had the most amazing time. I got to connect with community again, like one of these things where it's just like, damn, I'm meeting this amazing guy. I'm connecting with this incredible friend group. I'm meeting all the ecstatic dance people. I'm building this community. And this is like literal days before I'm leaving after spending a full month there. But I'm just like, oh, there's something so bittersweet about falling in love with a place and then saying goodbye to it. I talk about this all the time, impermanence. It's one of my tattoos. It's one of my big, big lessons in this life is that like, how can we tap into whatever it is that we're experiencing and be so grateful for it and be so present with it and be so just appreciative of this experience and not attached, right? It's like loving something, but not holding it so tight that we squeeze it to death. It's like admiring a flower, but not plucking it because if you pluck it, it will die. And I feel like life and travel and these experiences are all a part of that lesson of yes, it's beautiful to connect and to meet people and to feel like you're a part of something. And there's something so beautiful about knowing that it's fleeting. How wonderful that we get to create this and how beautiful it is to allow it to go. And it's not really letting go, right? I'm building community in all these different places. I'm creating relationships, connections, and nurturing all of these experiences and all these connections and all of these relationships so that I can loop back and continue to create and build upon what I'm doing. I'm feeling more and more clear about that. I'm feeling more and more clear about, okay, these are places that I'm absolutely going to loop back with. When I was a kid, I went to summer camp and we used to have the saying, we live 10 months for two, right? That like, we live all year just so that we could go to camp and see our camp friends. And it's like, there's something so beautiful about the finiteness of we only get 2 months a year together, but also knowing that every single year it's like, just because I'm not at camp doesn't mean my camp friends just disappear and don't exist. They're still there. Those relationships still matter. It's just different. It just looks different. It's different when you're not able to be with somebody every single day. It's different when you're not able to build something every single moment. But there is something very, very beautiful about planting seeds in all these different places and then allowing them to water themselves and coming back and seeing what's grown. So, we're moving on from that. I told you guys in that last episode, I was pushing to go to this beautiful art park that I had been emailing, and they were like, no, sorry, no, sorry, no, sorry. And then finally they said, yes, I went on that tour. You guys, this place was so amazing. It was essentially an ecological and architectural project that isn't even going to open for the next 10 years. They've been working on it for the last 20 years. It was like Burning Man meet Alice in Wonderland meet Disneyland. It was one of the most magical places I've ever been to, just from like an architectural standpoint. So that was my like last day in Mexico City. I went with my housemate from my first Airbnb to this like magical fairyland. And then after that, I went with this man and his friends, and we went to a jazz show. And it was just like, again, like the day ended, and I was like, damn, I'm so sad to leave, but I'm so grateful that I got to have this experience, that I got to have this opportunity to connect, to fall in love with a place, to experience all the magic that I got to experience. So that was so beautiful, so incredible, so nourishing, really special to get to spend my last night with my new friends and my new romantic connection, and then let it go and then say, thank you so much for the beautiful time. I'll see you when I see you. And just releasing attachment to that experience while honoring the beauty of what that connection did for me and how it healed parts of me that really needed healing. Like, truly, I'm so, so, so grateful for that experience. I'm so grateful for the friendships that I made this last month, for the conversations that I had, for the experiences that I participated in. I have so much gratitude, like endless, endless, endless gratitude. So then we go back to Miami. I'm back here for a couple days. catching up on work. I took my family. My friend Kamal has been performing at this place called the Faena Hotel in Miami in South Beach. If you've ever been, it's like a super, super bougie, really fancy. He is a cirque performer. So he does straps. He kind of like floats up in the air. He does all aerial acrobatics, fire spinning, all these amazing things. And so I brought my mom and my dad to see that show. And it was so incredible. And then the next day, we left for my little sister's law school graduation in St. Louis. So we're like going like this. Like there is absolutely no downtime when it comes from like going to Mexico, going to Miami, go to St. Louis. We're just boom, 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 next place, next place, next place. So then we go to St. Louis, and my sister curated this incredible itinerary. I've never been to St. Louis before. Obviously, I'm going for the first time, like literally as she's leaving. But it was so great. We had such a great time. We did some of the touristy things. We went to the Arch, and she took us to some great restaurants. We saw another jazz show. We did some paddle boating. She got to show us her favorite spots, walking through her park. I got to see her apartment for the first time. I got to meet so many of her close friends that she'd been talking about for ages. And I just love traveling and being with my sister. So I've talked about this before in previous episodes about how influential the people that you surround yourself with can be in the way that you show up in your world. And my sister has always been one of those people that her and I just live together so well. Like anytime that we're sharing a space together, she just truly inspires me and encourages me to be the best version of myself. So if we are waking up in the morning and dunking our faces in cold ice water and just eating well and taking care of ourselves and nourishing our minds, bodies, souls. Like she is just someone that I love, 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 love the version of me that I am when I'm in her energy. And I feel like for anyone, if you love the version of yourself that you are when you're in someone else's energy, be in that person's energy more. Like that is such a fucking green flag. Do you love the version of yourself that you are with that person? If the answer is yes, that is a massive green flag. So that was such an incredible experience. Obviously, seeing her graduate law school was so amazing. I can't believe she's going to be a lawyer. It's so insane. I'm officially the only non-lawyer in my family, which is too crazy town. But yeah, we had such a great time. And then yesterday we got back to Miami. Again, here for 24 hours. It has been a fucking whirlwind of a day. I feel like life is just moving on hyper speed right now. Some big business updates and exciting updates and fun things that have happened in the last little bit. I have a new one-on-one coaching client, which is very exciting. I just started coaching like 2 months ago, and these clients are just organically falling into my lap that are like super aligned that I'm so excited to work with. So I have a new client for the month that I'm really excited about. I'm looking for a few more, but I'm also open to the flow and allowing them to come to me exactly as they want. I secured my first brand partnership deal, which I am really excited about. I'm not gonna announce it yet because it's not like official, but it is a clothing brand, and I will be launching slash announcing it this upcoming weekend at Breakaway Festival. So if you follow me, definitely stay tuned for that. That is super exciting. I am in the works right now of coordinating a pretty big opportunity for this upcoming summer. There is a all women summer camp retreat experience. It's got some pretty big numbers that I am in talks with to facilitate some mindful morning experiences, plus the AmandaFest Pregame Meditation before the big dance parties of these events. So that is still brewing and cooking up. I actually have a call later this evening with a big festival that I am in talks with in terms of potentially collaborating with this summer. And then I'm like bearing the lead here. After I met this guy, remember I was talking about the guy that I met after Ecstatic Dance in Mexico City, and I was like, we had all this alignment with these festivals and this and that. Well, of course, no coincidences. Shortly after that, I was connecting with an old friend of mine who builds sets for festivals. We were talking about Lightning in a Bottle. I've been saying I really want to go to Lightning in a Bottle. Long story short, I manifested a free pass to Lightning in a Bottle. And then shortly after that, I was able to manifest a ride, a camp, a tent, like everything just aligned. And I say this all the time when it comes to experiences. It's like I have this menu of possibility of all the things that I'm potentially considering that I'm thinking about doing, but it really has to take so much alignment for me to pull the trigger, especially for something that's in California that's really expensive, that's far away. I'm like, I'm like, that festival needs to fucking be calling my name in order for me to go. And this one literally, I feel like, just pulled me in. When everything falls into alignment with such ease, in this instance, it was the ticket, it was the camp, it was the ride, it was the tent, it was all of these things that were just so easeful. It is so clearly a sign from the universe, from my perspective, that this is an experience that I'm meant to have. And especially after this conversation with this guy from Ecstatic Dance in Mexico City, he was saying that this is one of the best music festivals in the world that he's ever seen, been a part of, been to, period. And of course, as somebody that is in the process of curating experiences like this, I'm on a big market research mission. I need to go to the best of the best. So I'm so grateful that this experience aligned the way that it did. So tomorrow morning I wake up, I am going to Atlanta. I also manifested free tickets to this festival as well. Then I ended up changing my flight. So instead of coming back to Miami after that, I'm going to be going straight to California. Alignment. My friend from Israel, who I love dearly, happens to be in California the exact dates that I'm there. Her and I connected just before I planned my flights. When these things happen, you're just like, you cannot make this shit up. Like, sometimes the universe just operates in such a way where everything flows so organically that there is absolutely no mistaking the fact that these are clear signs from the universe that this is what's meant to happen. Period. End of story. Follow the flow. Let's go. So I'm so excited. I'm going to get to stay with my friend in Beverly Hills for a few days before the festival. I'm going to get to drive up. I'm a part of an incredible camp. I'm going with an amazing friend who's taking care of so many logistics for me that would have made this totally impossible had he not offered these things. So I'm so grateful for that. I have like so much gratitude, like so much gratitude for all of the things that are unfolding. I have so much gratitude for the people that continue to show up, that continue to give and support and allow me to just flow with the universe as I'm on this journey of unfolding, of creating, of stepping into this version of myself that I don't even know what it is, but it's just unfolding and I'm allowing it to unfold. And the universe is completely and utterly paving the way. And these beautiful connections and experiences and people that I've met along the way are just making it so easeful and incredible. So I am going to spend 3 days in Beverly Hills and I'm going to the music festival. Then I'm going to be staying with another friend in Venice for a week after that. And then I have some amazing opportunities happening in Miami that next weekend. I'm going to be volunteering for Daybreaker, which I'm so excited about. And there's a couple of other events that I'm really stoked about. The whole reason why I'm coming back to Miami after this is because I have my sister's graduation party. And so I'm planning a bunch of events and connections and networking around this because I do feel like Miami is going to be and is one of my hubs and places in which I am nourishing connections, because this will be somewhere that I will continuously come back to, that I will continuously grow with this community. You guys, the podcast episode I have coming up next week is going to be so good. I'm so excited. I recorded this weeks ago and I've been waiting for the 50th episode. Next week is the 50th episode, which I'm like, how did that even happen? But episode 50 is coming out next week. I have an incredible guest for that. I'm really excited. So going back to the timeline, we go to Atlanta for this music festival, then we go straight to LA. We're going to be in Beverly Hills for a couple days. We're going to this music festival for a few days. Then we're going back. We're going to spend some time in Venice. And we got some Miami happening for a couple of weeks there. And then we are going to New York, baby. We're having a New York moment. I'm already lining up some incredible events and things happening there. I'm lining up some amazing festivals and opportunities and experiences for the summer. And then there's a lot of gaps and openness and holes, and maybe Europe. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we go back to Mexico, maybe we go to Costa Rica. There's so much brewing and all of these things are unfolding. And then in the midst of all this, I'm still doing my yoga teacher training. I still have the DJing thing on the radar. There was a moment where I almost signed up for a DJing retreat in Costa Rica, but that didn't end up fully aligning. But that's a whole other thing that we'll dive into at another time. But all of this to say, we are chugging along, movement is happening, things are unfolding, and we're following the flow, and we are sitting in the gratitude of all that is happening right now. Like, wow, I'm exhausted. I am so tired. And again, looping all the way back to the beginning of this episode, while I'm in the process of building my dream life, holy motherfucking shit, I am living my dream life. I am living my dream as I'm creating my dream. I am traveling around the world. I'm getting paid to do what I love. I am helping people. I am meeting incredible, wonderful souls and curating and nourishing such amazing connections and relationships. I am collecting once in a lifetime experiences and opportunities on a daily basis. And it's just continuing. And we just get to do more. We just get to continue on and keep raising the bar and just keep building and growing and sharing and showing. And I am so excited to see what continues to unfold. Like, okay, universe, show me how good it gets. Okay, universe, show me I'm here. I am grateful and I am not attached. So show me the way. And with that, I will say thank you so much for tuning in, for following along this crazy journey, and stay tuned for next week. That episode is going to be incredible, and we've got some fun things coming up. So tune into the next solo vlog, where by that time I will have already done Breakaway and I will have already done Lightning in a Bottle. So we're going to have some fun things to recap on by then. Until then, sending you lots of love, and I will see you when I see you. Thanks. Bye.